What is going on, Pretender here, back with another Honkai style guide, and today I'm here with a full build guide for one of the two characters that were put to be gone for free in the Golden Companion Spirit, being Luocha. I already now have one up for Ruo on May that you can check out if you did pick her, but now you are watching the Luocha guide. This video is going to be updated as of 3.2, so taking you over everything you would need to know if you are building him in 3.2 or beyond. And so this video is going to be taking you over his kit and Eidolons, then we'll be taking you over his best Lightcone options, followed by that will be best Relic sets and Planar ornaments, and then finally Mainstat and Substat recommendations. That's all I wanted to say. Before I get into the video, if you guys found the video helpful in any way, shape, or form, dropping a like would be greatly appreciated. If you're new or haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon for future videos like this, along with all other types of Star content and guides, and let's get straight into the video. So Luocha is an imaginary character following the path of abundance. His basic attack deals imaginary damage equal to 100% of Luocha's attack to a single enemy. His skill: after using his skill, Luocha immediately restores the target ally's HP equal to 60% of Luocha's attack plus 800. Meanwhile, Luocha gains 1 stack of Abyss Flower. When any ally's HP percentage drops to 50% or lower, an effect equivalent to Luocha's skill will immediately be triggered and applied to this ally for 1 time without consuming skill points, and will be triggered again after 2 turns. His ultimate removes 1 buff from all enemies and deals all enemies imaginary damage equal to 200% of Luocha's attack, and at the same time Luocha gains a stack of Abyss Flower. His talent: when Abyss Flower reaches 2 stacks, Luocha consumes all stacks of Abyss Flower to deploy a zone against the enemy. When any enemy in the zone is attacked by an ally, the attacking ally's HP is immediately restored by an amount equal to 18% of Luocha's attack plus 240. This zone's effect will last for 2 turns, and if Luocha is knocked down, the zone will also be dispelled. Technique: after using the technique, the talent will immediately be triggered at the start of the next battle. His bonus traces: his A2, when skill's effect is triggered, dispel 1 debuff from the 1 designated ally. His A4, when any enemy in the zone is attacked by an ally, all allies except the attacker restores HP equal to 7% of Luocha's attack plus 93. And his A6 increases the chance to resist crowd control debuffs by 70%. For his Eidolons, his E1, while the zone is active, attack of all allies increases by 20%. His E2, when his skill is triggered, if the target ally's HP percentage is lower than 50%, Luocha's outgoing healing increases by 30%. If the target ally's HP percentage is at 50% or higher, the ally receives a shield that can absorb damage equal to 18% of Luocha's attack plus 240 for 2 turns. His E4, when Luocha's zone is active, enemies become weakened and deal 12% less damage. And his E6, when ultimate is used, there is a 100% fixed chance to reduce all enemies all-type res by 20% for 2 turns. Taking a look at the best Lightcone options for Luocha, you do have a few options, but his best one overall is going to be his own signature Lightcone, which gives the wearer 24% increase to attack, and after the wearer uses an attack, for each different enemy target the wearer hits, regenerates 3 energy, and each attack can regenerate energy up to 3 times this way. After the wearer uses their ultimate, all allies gain 12 speed for 1 turn. So Luocha does scale his healing off attack, so something like HP still can be good for his survivability, but this Lightcone gives attack instead because it's going to increase the healing he does do. So the fact it gives attack is going to be good to increase his healing output. On top of that, he's going to gain more energy for every time you do attack, as he does get 3 energy for each person hit. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a blast, so he can't always make full use of this. But his ultimate does hit everyone on the field, so when you do ult, it'll help you get some back. And then anytime you are using your basic attack, you can actually get some energy back. And then to top it all off, he does give everyone 12 speed when you are ulting, which can be fantastic for some specific setups. So if you're building a team that focuses on stats more, but you don't have breakpoint, and then you ult with Luocha and you can hit breakpoint, you can do those kind of setups. You can use this Lightcone to leverage you to get up to maybe something like 160 speed for that turn. There's a lot of things you can do with the extra speed. Just do know it might mess with your tunings if you already have something super specific. So if you do have something super specific, be sure this doesn't actually mess you up, and in every other case, this is his best option. Another good Lightcone you can use if you are able to use it is a Quid Pro Quo Lightcone, which at the start of the wearer's turn regenerates 8 energy for a random chosen ally that is not the wearer who currently has lower than 50% energy. And then at S5, which is a free S5, you will be giving 16 energy. So this is going to help you accelerate ultimates on anyone that is chosen. So if you have people that use normal ultimates and have normal energy gains, so not using it with like a Acheron or someone like Feixiao and so on, and have a DPS that would really benefit from the energy, maybe other supports such as some big ult needing ones such as Tribute Robin, then this actually landing onto them is going to be fantastic to accelerate their ultimate usages. And be sure you have uptime on them. So that's why if you don't really need the extra stats that Lightcone could give, or not stats but rather effect, you can use this Lightcone very well as well. Another good one you can use is the Perfect Timing Lightcone, which gives the wearer 16% effect res and increases outgoing healing by an amount that is equal to 33% of effect res and can be increased up to a total of 15%. And at S5 it is 32% effect res and it goes up to a 45% equal to effect res for outgoing healing and up to 27%. This Lightcone will want you to build more effect res on Luocha, which is still good just so he gets CC'd less himself, because if Luocha is CC'd, he can't heal your team, he can't do the automatic skills, he can't ult, he can't do anything. So getting more effect res on him will make sure he's CC'd less, and on top of that, you are getting a very good outgoing healing increase by 27% at max. And on top of that, if you are running something like Broken Keel on him, this Lightcone alone already gives him 32%, which is over the full amount you would need. And so for a healing option, Perfect Timing is a great option. Another option you can use is the Shared Feeling Lightcone, which gives the wearer 10% increase to outgoing healing, and when using skill, regenerates 2 energy for all allies. And at S5, it is 20% outgoing healing and 4 energy when using skill for all allies. So again, if you have people that would benefit from the energy, Luocha does have automatic skill usages, and if you do have extra skill points, you can actually go ahead and use that to accelerate gaining ult on him, also accelerate using the actual abyss stacks, get them up faster to use the ultimate. You also heal more, so if you're in the case where you do have extra skill points, then you can give even more energy for your team. So this is going to be great for generating energy. And so if that's going to be beneficial on the teams you are running him on, it's a great option. And the last Lightcone I want to talk about is the Multiplication Lightcone, which after the wearer uses their basic attack, their next action will be advanced forward by 12%, and it has 5, it's 20%. The only time you do use this is if you don't need the effect of a Lightcone and you do want to generate skill points. You can very much turn Luocha into a skill point generator because he uses his basic attack anytime his field is not up, and you practically never really need to skill for him because, you know, his actual automatic proc is enough with the ultimate, and this will help you accelerate his rotation a lot. So it's not only helping him get energy, but since he's basic attacking so much, he's going to generate you a bunch of skill points. So building a super fast Luocha with this Lightcone is going to help you generate a lot of skill points, which will be fantastic for any team that does need skill points, and is why it's an option you can use if you do need a skill point generator. For the best relic sets for Luocha, a really good one you can use, which is kind of if you need that extra skill point, is 4-piece of the Passerby Cloud, which 2-piece gives 10% outgoing healing, and the 4-piece gives a skill point at the start of battle. If you are running a team where the extra skill point can help you set up, that really just depends on what you're running yourself, then the 4-piece can actually be good. But if you don't need that extra skill point, then it's a lot better to combine 2-piece of this with 2-piece of something else. But I did just want to mention it in case you are in a case where the extra skill point would help you accelerate something or have a better setup, because there are sub setups where the extra skill point can be really good. And so 4-piece of this is an option you can do, but if you don't need the actual extra skill point, then I don't recommend doing 4-piece. Another 4-piece you can actually do is Musketeers. 2-piece gives 12% attack, and the 4-piece wearer speed increases by 6% and damage done by the basic attack increases by 10%. 2-piece giving you 12% attack is going to increase his healing, because again, he does scale off attack for his healing. And the 4-piece will also be giving him 6% speed, and also some extra damage done by his basic attack. You can practically ignore this part because his basic attack is never going to be the one doing damage for you. So you practically just ignore this. It just becomes the same as running something like 2-piece attack and 2-piece speed, which I'm going to mention shortly, as you do get 12% attack and then also the extra 6% speed from the 4-piece. So if you do have good musketeer pieces, so with good attack percent rolls, the right main stats, you can definitely use 4-piece. And then yeah, past that, it would be practically combining something like 2-piece of one of the speed sets, so Hacker Space or Relieved Ordeal, and combining that with either the 2-piece of the Pass Press set for the outgoing healing, or combining it with 2-piece of one of the attack percent increasing sets, so Musketeers, the Dot set. You could also do 2-piece with Soaring or 2-piece of the Hero set, whatever increases attack with the 2-piece. So those are your options. So again, if you do need that extra skill point, 4-piece Passerby does work, but if you really don't, again, if you just don't need that skill point, I don't recommend going for it. You can also use 4-piece Musketeers, as it's also practically the same as giving you 2-piece speed and 2-piece attack. If you don't have enough for a 4-piece of that, you can just do 2-piece speed and 2-piece of one of the attack percent sets, or 2-piece of one of those and 2-piece Passerby for the outgoing healing. Now when it comes to this Planar ornaments, the first one I do actually want to mention is the new Giant ornament, which gives the wearer 6% speed, and if the wearer speed is 135/180 or higher, the wearer and their Memo Sprite outgoing healing increases by 12%/20%. Ignore the Memo Sprite part because he doesn't have one, and I know most people will definitely not be able to reach 180 or higher speed on the Luocha. It is possible, but even without the 180% and the 20% outgoing healing, you could still get the extra speed, which is going to be nice. And at 135, you're still getting a 12% increase to outgoing healing. So it's just going to be extra healing with some speed on top to make it easier to build. So if you actually do have good giant pieces laying around, this is actually definitely a good set you can use. And if you are by all means able to get to 180 speed or higher outside or inside battle, then it's going to be that much better because now you're getting an extra 8% outgoing healing that you wouldn't have originally. So now you'll be having 20% instead of 12%. So I would definitely recommend using this. Even at 135 speed, it's going to be good. But if you are able to hit 180%, it's going to be even better. And then past that, it is just using one of the actual supportive sets. So you are working with quite a few options. So I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. The Luocha is a great option as it gives 12% attack to the person positioned first in the team lineup and also gives Luocha 5% energy regeneration rate. So extra energy regen rate is going to be great, so it's going to help you get your ultimate faster. On top of that, if you are running someone that benefits from attack percent, if they are positioned first, they're going to be getting an extra 12%, which will be good. If not that, you can definitely just use Broken Kill as well. 10% effect res, and you give 10% crit damage to everyone if you do have 30% or higher effect res. Any crit-based team will benefit from that as it's just an extra free 10% crit damage. You can also use the Penacody set, which also gives 5% energy regen rate and gives 10% damage for everyone that is the same type as the wearer. So you will need to pair him with someone that is an imaginary DPS. If you are not running another imaginary DPS with them, don't use the set as it's going to be useless. Well, not useless because it still gets 5% energy regen rate, but you're better off just running something like Luocha in that case, or to something else that actually would give you more of an effect. But if you are pairing him with someone that does do imaginary damage, it's going to be a free 10% damage for them. So in that case, you can definitely use Penacody as well. And then obviously Aegis is another option. It gives 12% max HP, which isn't actually useless as I mentioned previously. Getting some HP is still going to be nice because he does want to survive. If you have a bunch of attack but no HP, you could practically get 1 to 2 shot, especially if you don't have your automatic skill usage ready. So the extra max HP is still helpful, and then if the wearer does have 120 speed or higher, everyone gets 8% attack, which does apply to him too, so that will help him as well. And any attack scaling DPS would be benefiting from that as well. For the main stats on the relics, for the body, you want to do outgoing healing. For the feet, you want to run speed. For the orb, you want attack percent. And for the link up, you want energy regen rate. For the substats, first, you want to prioritize speed to make sure you hit at least 134 or higher. Once you hit 134, if you have further breakpoints you want to hit, so later breakpoints such as 143 or 160 or so, then you want to get higher than that. And if you are running the giant ornament, then you want to make sure you hit at least 135. So first, make sure you get speed to where you want it to be, at least 134 or higher, and then 135 if giant. Past that is more attack percent, because more attack percent will further increase his healing. Equal to that would be effect res if you are running perfect timing or broken keel, or both even. If you do perfect timing plus broken keel, you do have a lot of effect res already being given to you, so you don't really need too much. But if you are running them, then you want to make sure you have at least 30% for effect res, and for perfect timing around 45% will be good. Past that is just your survivability stuff, so HP or defense percent. So again, first, speed, get that to at least 134, 135 if you're running the giant ornament, and then any more breakpoints you'd want to hit. Past that will be attack percent and effect res if you are running, once again, perfect timing or broken keel. And then past that is just HP and defense. And that is the full build guide for Luocha. Once again, if you guys found the video helpful, dropping a like would be greatly appreciated. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell for future videos like this, along with all other types of Star Wars content and guides. Peace out.